Hey, what's going on everyone? This is G and I'm Phunken hungry. In this video, we're going to try Domino's new 4 and 20 crust pizza. So basically you can get this on any pizza you want. I just went for just a plain value pizza. But yeah, you can get this on any pizza you want. It's just a crust. Also did decide to get 2 sides to try. I'll leave the prices on screen for you to work it out, for me to work it out. I don't even think they can work it out. They called me Domino's when I was there, and then I called them back and they didn't answer straight away. And when they did, they said, oh yeah, sorry, we called you instead of another customer. I'm like, all right, you, why I order? And then the person who came to the door, he just stood there and I'm like, yeah, okay, thinking in my head, where's the customer service? And then he's like, make some weird noise like, eh. And I'm like, oh, take it off him. You know, I'll probably come across as a moody prick on this channel, but I'm relatively, jolly, I guess you could say it, the jolly green giant. And yeah, then I'm like, oh, yeah, cheers, man. And then he's just like, eh, and then walked off. I'm not even joking. So missed that, eh. Maybe that's how the pizza is, eh. And yeah, anyway, I got a pepperoni stuffed cheesy bread for $3.70, but I did get this in a deal, and apparently it's $27.49 all up, delivered. Like some sides are $1 plus, some sides are $2 plus, some sides are even like, yeah, a fair few dollars, but you get my point. So this was a $20 deal, but because I added a different side to the garlic bread and another different sides than the drink, then it came to $27.49. And there's not that much food here. So 2 boxes this size, and the pizza. Right, so we leave the pizza to a last because it's, I guess, what everyone wants to look at. And I swear they shrank these donuts as well. I've seen other people review these donuts and they were on like a large box. So they must have shrank those donuts as well. Anyway, I'm guessing we're going to probably go into rant mode here because, yeah, it's just how it is. This is the pepperoni stuffed cheesy bread for $3.70. But yeah, I guess it's in the taste, but yeah, it's just a bit of dough, a bit of cheese on top, and they've kind of knotted it and put some pepperoni inside. Let's give this a go. This is the pepperoni cheesy stuffed bread. Cheers. Just tastes like a pepperoni pizza without the tomato sauce. So dough's not too bad. It's nice and soft inside. Cooked and like a little bit crunchy or crusty on the outside. I feel like it needs more on the inside. It's just got this bit of pepperoni, but you can see that otherwise it's pretty damn plain inside. Maybe there's a little bit of cheese in there because you can see a bit of mozzarella coming out here, and then they've got the cheese on top. So you must just, pack it with cheese, roll it around, fidget about, and then cook it and serve it to you. The quality controls here is not that nice as well. It's just like, why do I want bits of like black burnt crap in my box? But yeah, just like, I don't know. But just, yeah, like a little bit more care, I feel like should go into it, especially being Domino's, like a big franchise. Now, maybe a local place that's maybe a bit understaffed or a bit busy could more understand, but Domino's. Anyway. I feel like it's a little bit inconsistent as well, but I guess that's like pizza. But, the edges, there's not much cheese on the edges. But that's why I'm going to try this centerpiece, because it looks like there's a fair bit of pepperoni packed in that and a fair bit of cheese. So it's going to be a different experience having the edge pieces to the center pieces. If you had a couple of these and you had some friends or you shared it with someone, you're probably going to have a different experience from the center to the edges. Anyway, that's, as I said, sometimes you get like, and as I said, sometimes that's the same with pizza. Anyway, I'm going to try this piece. Very different. It's not as crusty, it's soft because it's got a lot of cheese on it. Also, it has like a pillow of pepperoni in the center. So a nice, you know, pillowy pepperoni dicks in the center. You know what I'm saying? It's like, here you only get a lot of crust and texture, which is quite nice. But this, you get an all cheese, pepperoni, a totally different experience. I'd actually rate both pieces quite differently. They're both quite nice, but I prefer like the full-on flavor explosion that this is. If you can say Domino's is in the flavor explosion, that is. It's not too bad, but it is like a little bit like childlike flavors, childlike ingredients. All right, I'm going to give a rating of the pepperoni cheesy stuffed bread. Give that like a 4 out of 10. Price, give that like a 2.5 out of 10. Let's try the Dominos Donut. So this is freshly made in store. So this is the Sprinkles giant donut. Okay. As I said, I'm pretty sure it used to come in this size. So they've shrank it quite a lot. I know they got rid of it for a while because when I was going to review it, by the time I got around to reviewing it, it wasn't there anymore. But here it is. Yeah, it's definitely more of like a pizza dough than like, it's definitely more of a pizza dough than what you would associate with a donut. Your donut, quite nice big sprinkles. But yeah, I'm definitely a bit late to this one. People who call me Giovanni or whatever are probably going to love this one. Bunch of twats, bunch of trolls, bunch of wankers. Yeah, they must be related to Wayne Kerr. Anyway, this is actually proven difficult to eat on camera. This is it. All right, let's try it. This is the Domino's Donut. Cheers. Wow. The glaze is quite nice. The bread is super chewy. The sprinkles are okay, but they're just adding crunch. Yeah. Don't know what you're thinking, Domino's. This is why I don't review Domino's that often. They've got so much new stuff. And let me know in the comments below if you do want me to review more Domino's. Domino's doesn't do that well on the channel, and most of the time I'm going to be ranting a bit with Domino's. And I don't hate Domino's. It's just some of the stuff they do, overpriced and just, yeah. You know, you have to have like a palate of a disabled child that's fussy eater. Oh man. I'm going to have a couple more bites and I'll give it a rating. Nah. This is way too tough and chewy to be a donut. It's basically like a pizza with donut toppings. Looks like someone's had a right old time in the box. Got to have your cream sauce in the box. Original glazed. Kind of annoyed wasting time, effort, money and calories on this. Could have just had a lovely, fluffy, fresh donut from a bakery for a couple of bucks. Like, what are they these days? Maybe $3, $4. Get a couple of them for the price of this. And yeah, this might seem big. It's flat as. So yeah, a nice pillory, fluffy chocolate or sprinkled donut from the bakery is going to kill this any day. Most donuts from a bakery, freshly made. Yeah, they're freshly made in the morning. You might get them in the afternoon, whatever, evening. They're still going to be a lot more fluffy and nice than this. And yeah, a lot more tasty. This is more chewy than Chewbacca with his red rocket out. Oh. I don't like to waste food, so no doubt I'm going to eat this. But, yeah. very, very disappointed. So my rating for Domino's giant sprinkled donut. Look, I'm going to have to give that a 1.5 out of 10. The glaze was quite nice. The presentation was okay. Yeah. You know, 1 for effort, really. Oh, come on. Hopefully this meat pie pizza's crust is going to be better. I just got it on a pepperoni pizza. Normally when you get a special crust, it has less pizza, you know, because it's all about the crust. So I wasn't going to spend and get a really gourmet pizza, if you can call Domino's gourmet. Look at the box now. New shape holds pizza in place. Yeah, it's not because they want to give you a smaller box, of course. Tougher box means less pizza shocks. Pizza boxes aren't rocket science. No, that does look pretty cool. So that does look pretty cool. I have to give them that. I like how the dough's gone around each piece of. I like how the dough's gone around the pie, but how's it going to slice? Like, how's it going to come apart? But yeah, pepperoni pizza. I was just going to get a cheese, but I thought at least may as well get the pepperoni. Oh, all right. Let's see if I can kind of show you how this comes apart. Yeah, it's coming apart quite nice, actually. Don't know if you can really see it on camera. But it comes apart quite nicely in slices, slices, slices. I don't really like 4 and 20 pies as well. I just like decent food. You know, when it comes to pies, I'll go to a bakery for a pie any day over some frozen trash. Anyway, most of us know what a pepperoni pizza tastes like. But yeah, here it is. Slice. Get all different slices. They're actually done a really good job here, so shout out Domino's for that. You know, quite a good effort. They're all individually sliced. Right. So let's give it a try. This is Domino's pepperoni pizza meat pie crust. Cheers. Kind of like pepperoni on a thin base. I don't mind Domino's sauce. Domino's has quite a herby sauce. I do like that. Anyway, let's try the pie. What I'm going to do, because I do have a few slices to muck around with, I'm going to try and have the pie and the pizza, because I kind of just wasted it by having the pizza. Anyway, I'll try it again. Cheers. I'm not really liking the pastry mixing with the dough. The dough is really nice and soft. You can get that like sort of flaky pastry. It looks almost like they microwave these pies as well. Anyway, have a couple more bites. Oh. Oh. I forgot how shit 4 and 20 pies are. Nice bit of gristle. Tastes like something that you would feed a homeless dog. I wouldn't even feed a homeless dog this, to be honest. I'm trying to come up with something that I'd feed this. Robert, the disabled vlogger, I'd feed it to him. Him and 2 Aussie would probably rate this. Not bad, not bad. Pretty cool idea. I feel like they needed definitely a better pie if they was going to do this. Also, I think there's better stuff than a pie that you can put in the crust. But it does look kind of pretty. Anyway. Now, before I head off, I'm going to make a meat pie pizza, which they pretty much done. But I do have a packet of sauce here. Got to have a bit of dead horse, as the Aussies say. Even though I don't know why they want to have a dead horse anyway. It's probably what that pie tasted like. Dead horse. Dead horse that wasn't prepared by a butcher. Dead horse that was on the side of the road that they put in a pie. What are you doing, 420? 4 and 20, sorry, I think I'm saying it wrong. Anyway, let's get this. Let's pour this all over it. Let's get this into it. All right. I've already got like my rating or whatever in my head. This is just a bit for shits and giggles, really. All right, let's try it with 2 slices and some lots of horse inside. 4 and 20 horse meat. Cheers. Tomato sauce actually works quite well in a Domino's pepperoni pizza. Wow. Anyway, I'm going to get into those pies. Was actually going to get for a side some 4 and 20 pies. They sell 4 and 20 pies separately. I was going to get a few, but then I'm like, they're shitty pies. Why? Oh. Yeah, I think they just microwave those pies before they put them in the crust. So microwave pies just have a certain flavour to it. And I'm not exactly Gordon Ramsay. I have had some microwave pies in my time. But yeah, they're normally better than this. Normally go a footy pie. Balfour's footy pie is not bad. Now, down to the score. It does look really nice. They've done a great job with presentation. 4 and 20 pies, they just taste like some old possum meat that's been sitting around for a while that they put in a pie. Bit of gristle, bit of grandma's secret sauce. Just, yeah, that's not the best. As I said, cool idea. It's all cooked well, but also I feel like they just microwaved the pies to soften them, and then they put them in the crust. Well, if you work at Domino's, let me know how they do the pies. Here they are. Yeah, that's definitely microwaved. That's bloody disgusting. Domino's, you dirty bastards. That is just disgusting. No crunch to it, no crisp. It's just a little disc of microwaved pie. Oh. You dodgy bastards. They put a crappy little party pie in the crust. So you've gone through all this effort to make a nice crust and $3 each. $3 each ain't too bad, actually. For the amount of pies you get and, you know, how it's presented isn't too bad. The price isn't necessarily the problem. It's just the quality of the meat pie. So my rating for Domino's meat pie crust, I'll give them a 3.5 out of 10. Yeah, I can't give them any more than that. Microwave pie. In a pizza. Cool idea. If they had something nicer than a microwaved party pie, I would have been actually pretty impressed. But a microwave party pie, you've gone through so much effort. It actually looked quite beautiful how it's presented. And you just bung a microwave pie in there. Just, yeah, you had a great idea and you just failed with the execution. So yeah, just stick to something else. Also, I feel like you could have added a couple of packs of these just so I didn't have to bring my own. Cheers, Maccas. So yeah, add a couple of packs of sauce as well would have been good. But yeah, either way, the pizza's all right. Just go by a price rating for the crust. The price rating for the crust, even though they probably got bulk pies sent to them for the promo, you know, they didn't pay what we pay in the shops, no doubt, especially when you're just microwaving them. But yeah, nice idea. $3 for the pie is fairly generous because it's well done. Each slice did get a piece of pie, so I'm going to give them a good 6.5 out of 10 for a price rating. Let me know in the comments below if you tried Domino's. I want to know if you've tried Domino's meat pie crust. You know, that pepperoni stuffed cheesy bread. You know, you'd have to be desperate really to go to Domino's for that. You can just go to the bakery and get something nicer than that. You can just go to the bakery and get something similar to that, like a focaccia or a cheese and bacon roll or whatever, which will probably taste nicer than that anyway. That centerpiece was quite nice on the edges. Yeah, you didn't have much flavour. Also, I want to know your opinion on that giant sprinkled piece of bullshit. Let me know if you agree or disagree with what I've said of that, because that was just terrible. And this wasn't much better, but the meat pie crust, you know, just I don't know. They could have even made it better if these pies were microwaved. They're just... I don't even know if they are microwaved. You might be just putting a pie that's not frozen, but a pie that's just been sitting there in the crust, and it's just... Look at it again. Just yuck. Oh. Oh. So chewy. Let me know if you enjoyed this car crash, and yeah, I'd love to hear why you enjoyed it if you did. I've tried to break it down as best as I can to help you decide if it's good or not. Hopefully I'm going to save you some money because, yeah, nicely presented, shitty steamed piece of rat's coffin inside there. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, if you could please like, please subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a video. This is G spending a stupid amount of money on some terrible food, but I'll catch you next time on Phunken Hungry. Would have rather a Caesar salad.